Hi, my name is Alessandro Gangelosi and that's a video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for Max Cookie. This time we have to continue talking a little bit about Ornatrix and we'll prepare another simple introduction video to understand something about Ornatrix plugin. Past time we had just a brief introduction to the complete toolset, and now we see a really fast way to use Ornatrix to create grass. So let's imagine that we have a plane. We create a plane, let's think about, for example, 4 meters by 4 meters. We use more segments. Let's try with 30 and 30, so we have a curved surface, and then we use a noise, and we can use the Z level there for the strength. So we are giving a shape to the terrain. Let's rotate a little bit, and let's go for shaded there. And then let's go to set the rendering resolution 900 400, and there we say show save frame. So that's our rendering viewport. Let's remove the grid using the G key. Okay, so we have a cleaner viewport. Let's select the perspective and then create camera from view. So we have the camera there. Then we can select the terrain. Let's call it terrain, and we can use Ornatrix add air to selection. And you see that we have the airs over there. You see that we have the possibility to change the interpolation following the face, and actually we are using the polar interpolation, but we have also the bar centering. That maybe is the best way this time. That's the possibility to use the edit guides, and you know we can use some tools to have higher or lower hair, and then let's close it. Let's see which kind of tools we have. For example, there we have the ox strength length, and this one gives us the possibility, you see, to randomize the 8, and that's really interesting because you see we can have a not so precise length there. And we have also the possibility to use a length map. So we can use, for example, let's make a test with a simple map as a checker, and we can copy this one there as an instance, and you see that we have, you see, the length based, and you can see there the length is based on the checker box, so we have higher or lower just using this map, and that's really useful. Let's remove this one, so clear, so we are using just the randomize. Let's go there to the root there, and I like to let's see if we can do something to change more. For example, something you can do doing manually is, for example, if we select this one and we go there, you see that we have the possibility to control how to create clamping, and you see that we can create a different way to manipulate the generation, and you see that we can use it to create clamping manually, but obviously we will lose too much time doing something like that. So we can go back there to the ox strength length, and let's see if we can do something more. We have the clustering. The clustering gives us the possibility to create a cluster based on the map, and it can be a way to create cluster, but it's more useful for Ephere. So let's see if we can do something more there, and we can use a little bit of freeze. So you see we can create less or more cows, and we can scale the freeze to have something more strange or not. And you see that we can manipulate other parameters to have, for example, more grass in this way, and we can have less or more freeze. Then that's the air. Let's go to have something like that, and we have the amount of Ephere in viewport, and we are talking about 1000. Let's go a little bit far to something like that, and in rendering we have 10,000. Let's try to have less, so we use the same as the viewport, and then if we need more, we'll do more. And let's see what happens if we render using this way. Okay, we have nothing, obviously, because we have to select the air, set up fast ray tracer, and you see that we have it. Okay, first thing we see is that we have too less hair, and we need also the light. So let's go there and let's use a target direct. I'm just trying to simulate a simple sun there, and first of all let's use an higher power and a bigger zone there for rendering. Okay, you see that now we have white steps. Then we have to select there, and we need the material. We can assign a simple material there. Let's imagine to have a green color, so nothing so special. Let's render, and you see that the stuffs are green. So then we can select this one, and this one is not renderable, and we make a copy, and the copy is renderable. And let's assign another color. We are doing a really simple test, so I'm not working. So you see that now we have the ground there. Let's select the light, and let's say that we have shadows. Let's go for ray traced shadows just to make a test, and let's go for deep shadow, and let's start testing to have more grass there, and let's change also the shader. So let's go for the air shape, and let's go for a green color. The specular will be a brighter green color, and the ambient will be a dark green. And that's really really simple also, this one. Let's make a little bit less power for the specularity, and let's see what we have. We have a darker color there, and we can try to have more grass. So let's try to have 10,000, and you see that we are starting to have more grass inside the scene. Let's try, for example, to move a little bit more distant, so we don't need to have a lot of grass inside the scene, and you see that's the result. The first thing we see is that we need for sure to have bigger scaled mesh there. So let's imagine, for example, 3, and that's a little bit better. Maybe it's a little bit too big, so let's go for 2. Okay, and let's remove a little bit the scaling there. So let's select okay, the length there, let's have a little bit less differences. Okay, so you see that it's a little bit better than before, and we can change there the scaling, and we can see that it's a little bit less. Okay, you see that we have a little bit of shape. Okay, so you know that obviously you can change the shape and the cows there to have a different result. So you see we can control how it will looks. Let's see, for example, in this way we should have a little bit more cows, you see, and I like to change a little bit the shape. So let's go there for render settings, and we can change this one. Okay, and the global radius was 2. Okay, so it's a little bit better. Obviously also the shadows are not the best one we can render, but you know, you can use also different stuffs like the Ornatrix shadows and change the resolution or whatever else you need. So you can decide how to create it. Let's use an eye. So that's the basic setup we can create actually, and something I like to show you is the possibility to create mesh that can be reused. So what I mean is you can select the Ornatrix and you can go there and assign a mesh for strengths, and now you have mesh inside the scene. So actually we are talking about mesh. That means that I can go there, select the light, and say to use the shadow map, and let's say that the shadow maps is 258, and now you see we are rendering directly the shadows coming from the grass. Let's select the omni there, let's set to off. We should have more shadows, and you see that we have more shadows than before. So we have the possibility to create directly the mesh to create the shadows there, and that's really interesting because we have the possibility to manipulate as we like this kind of map, and we can also use the bitmap to create the shadows. And I like also to show you that you have complete control there over the possibility to have the face camera object based on strength, and you see we can rotate it and create cows for the twisting. So you see that everyone is rotated in another way, so you have the possibility to control how it looks, and you can assign now a more standard material for example, sorry, and we can give a little bit, and let's assign. And you see now I'm using a more standard shaders, and we can also have this one set to something like that, or maybe we can just use a skylight, because now we are talking about mesh. We can use something like that, and you see that's the result. And if you want, you can use also the cast shadows in a really fast way. So we have the shadowing coming from all around. Obviously this time is really slow, but you can use also the GI directly because we are talking about mesh. So there's no problem to use whatever we want and to use the techniques we prefer to make the rendering. So that's really powerful. Okay, so it's really slow in this way, but we can change the parameters. For example, you can use 2 rays for every single sample, and you see that it's really fast, and we can have a good approach to see how it will look. Obviously, we have not too much grass. We can use more grass, and we can obtain a better result using more grass there. We can use also more lighting to have a more interesting lighting over the grass. So for the moment that's all, and it was just an introduction to see something related to Ornatrix, to use a different workflow flow to create grass. And I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.